What's up, you guys? Namakan here, bringing you my perspective as to what entertainment is bringing us. And today, I'll be talking about what is considered to be one of the greatest movies of all time, 2001, A Space Odyssey. Released in America on April 3rd, 1968, this movie was a commercial success, grossing over $146 million over a $10 million budget. When you consider when you consider inflation, that's actually kind of insane. Critically, it's kind of a different story. Back when it first came out, critics were divisive on the film, with one critic calling it morally pretentious, intellectually obscure, and inordinarily wrong. Kubrick himself has called out those harsh critics, especially the movie critics from New York, by calling them mathematically aesthetic. Nowadays, the film is lauded by everyone, with many calling it one of the greatest science fiction films of all time. The film stars Keir Dullea, Gary Lockwood, Douglas Rain, and the film was directed by the one and only Stanley Kubrick. So the film's story follows a voyage of astronauts, scientists, and a supercomputer all the way to the planet Jupiter to investigate an alien-made monolith. The main characters are Dr. Bowman, Dr. Frank Poole, and HAL 9000. HAL 9000, or HAL for short, is the supercomputer designed to help out the systems of the spaceship named Discovery 1. As the film goes on, we also find out that Hal is the main villain of 2001. The interesting thing about this film is that it doesn't start in space. It begins in a prehistoric era with apes. For the first 20 minutes, we see apes battling against each other for water. And then the day later, we see an alien monolith coming out of nowhere. And that same day, the apes learn how to use bones as weapons, and they used them to go toe to toe with rival tribes. That transition of that bone to a spaceship, man, that was a seamless transition. You'd be hard pressed to believe that movie came out in 1968. 2001 came out before Star Wars. Star Wars came almost a decade later. 2001 completely changed the game for science fiction movies. Before 2001 came out, some of the famous examples for science fiction movies were The Day the Earth Stood Still, The War of the Worlds, and Forbidden Planet. Most of the science fiction films prior to 2001 were mainly focused on aliens. 2001 rewrote everything about science fiction because you do not see any other life form besides humans and other mammals. 2001 mainly focuses on its set designs and the cinematography, and my god, it looks outstanding. I literally cannot believe this movie predates Star Wars. Like, this film was way ahead of its time, man. I can only imagine this must have been mind-blowing for casual moviegoers at the time. Kubrick is known to be a massive perfectionist, so he wants everything done perfectly to a T. And my God, this is probably his finest achievement yet. Do bear in mind, I have yet to see all of his films, as the only other film I have seen from him is A Clockwork Orange. I have seen clips of Full Metal Jacket. You know that one song that was frequently used in 2001? That song was not even made for the movie. It was made way before that. This song is called Thus Spoke Zarathustra, and it was composed by Richard Strauss, who is a German composer. While the song was released to the public in 1896, it wasn't well known in pop culture until 2001 released in theaters, and ever since then, it has become one of the most iconic songs in all of media. The last thing I want to talk about for 2001 is Hal. He is not in the movie much, but that computer made such a huge lasting impression on me. That thing is not human. Again, that thing is a computer. A supercomputer designed to help out astronauts on doing their job. I don't know how you made a computer such a terrifying villain, but Kubrick somehow made it work. Douglas Range's performance as Hal is it's one of a kind. He made Hal sound robotic, but somehow has layers in his voice. The things that Hal did is so fucking terrifying. He killed about 4 people all by himself without the knowledge of Dr. Bowman, and the way Hal murdered these people is gruesome. It's not bloody, but the way they died looked like absolute torture. One of them got their air pumps destroyed while they were in space, while the other 3 froze to death. If there is one thing people remember 2001 for, it's Hal. One of the most terrifying villains in film history, and again, not even human. Although, I did say there was one. I do want to say that Hal was the last thing I want to talk about, but I did want to touch on the ending for a little bit because it's been interpreted as to what the ending was all about. But yeah, for me, the ending, Jesus Christ, I don't even know how you could. I don't even know how do you explain that. So, I guess what I understand is that. So what I want to understand is that I believe that was Dr. Bowman. I could be wrong on that. So let me know in the comments if it's somebody else, but I'm gonna stick with Dr. Bowman. So I'm assuming that he is a prisoner in wherever he is. I'm assuming that's some sort of mansion. I don't know who put him there. I'm assuming it's that monolith, and that monolith has kept him prison until he grew old and he just died. And then he somehow came back into some sort of intellectual being that no human could ever describe. That's how I see it. So yeah, 2001, man. What a movie. What an absolute movie. I haven't seen all of Stanley Kubrick films, but man, I don't know if any Kubrick movie can top 2001 for me. I don't know. But for those of you that have seen 2001 A Space Odyssey, did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. Just make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and if you want to, you can also follow my Letterboxd backlog and Instagram down in the description down below. 2001 A Space Odyssey gets a 10 out of 10. Like, yeah, this movie's a masterpiece. This movie's one of a kind. There's literally, I would say there's very few movies can achieve something like that. I would say without 2001, I don't think the science fiction genre would be where it's at. I really think 2001 really changed the game. It really changed everything for not only science fiction, but for movies in general. But that's all I have to say about 2001 and A Space Odyssey. Please go check 2001 if you haven't. I just checked it out like around pretty recently. I knew about 2001. I knew how people hailed it as a classic. I didn't get to watch it until recently, and it definitely for sure lives up to the hype. But with that out of the way, this is Namicon. I'll see you all next time.